Ya Shalom, Yahabashim, Yashai, Barakatah, Yahweh, Barakatah, Yahweh, Shai, Barakatham to the Akim, Wakim, out there keeping his word, truth, and all sincerity. Teaching the downfall of Esau, this 2/3 is wicked kingdom and these heathens. I just had a dream. I was recording, but I guess my phone was too filled up, so I had to delete stuff and try to re-record. So I'm gonna try to do my best. But I had this dream, and it was like, I can't remember what happened exactly in the beginning, but I remember being in this hotel, and there was like 3 beds per room, and it was like 2 people per bed, and in this place, you know, they had a whole bunch of like snacks and stuff. And I remember asking, I was like, yo, can I get like some stuff that don't got yeast in it? You know what I mean? And you know, my wife was there, and she was like sleeping in another bed with somebody else. And I was like, why are you sleeping in that bed with somebody else? And she was like, because you got to sleep over there with him, you know, next to him. And I'm like, what the fuck? So you sleeping next to some girl, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever. So, like, it's just like, whatever, you know. So I asked for, you know, some fruit or something, you know, without yeast. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking because it was Passover, because we in Passover, right? But, you know, I used to not eat a lot of like carbs either, you know. So, but I know the reason was because it was Passover. Because they kept questioning me, why you don't want no yeast? Or why you don't want to eat that food? And I was like, you know, I can't have it, you know. So, I want to eat that. So, I go out the room. Or like somebody come in the room and call me. They're like, hey, come with me. So I go with them in a different room. And they're like, I got this ticket. I need you to go on this flight. You know, just for you to go on this flight. So get off this flight, or we go to get on this flight. And they're just like, Edomite dude, like leaving his ship. But the ship he's like leaving the ship. Like he's walking, you know, out past everybody, but we're all on side. So, you know, I give my wife my ticket to get on because her ticket ain't filled out. And I'm like, I got another one. So my wife gets on, but she don't go all the way on. She waits kind of like right there, you know. So the lady looks at my ticket. She's this Judite lady with this like curly, frizzy, like brownish tan hair. Like I can't even explain it. So like a reddish brown. Like a ready, you know what I mean? So she's like, I can't accept your ticket. And I'm like, why? She's like, your ticket's like that guy's ticket. You know, she's like, this is around the world trip. And this ticket just says one way. And I'm like, okay. That was Spirit. That was at 1440 or 14.4. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking out the window at the Edomite looking dude, and the pilot's a black dude. He's trying to kick him off the ship, but he can't kick him off because it's separated. So my wife gives me this ticket, you know, that she had that she didn't fill out, that she filled out. So I give it to the lady, and the lady's like, oh, okay, you're good. But I realized when I woke up, I was like, yeah, how about Shimmy and Shai wanted me to get on that flight or that trip anyway? You know what I mean? Regardless, I was going to get on. Because the fact of the matter that the boat was separated, or the ship was separated, or the plane, whatever it was separated. I just know this thing was floating. Was separated from the dock. So we sit down or whatever. Then next thing you know, I don't even remember sitting down. I just remember getting to the other spot, being on the beach, and there was like these huts lined up on the beach, and it was like I was stranded there. But it was like, I feel like, you know, like throughout this dream, I feel like people were trying to play me, like, you know, everybody was kind of like against me. And you know, I hear this one dude walks into a hut, and you can overhear his conversation. You know, he's talking like a nigga. Oh, I had a crip walk on him. You know, being all loud and shit. And there's these 2 dudes just sitting there next to the hut in these chairs. I think they was drinking, but They wasn't saying nothing. So, I end up walking around, coming back and asking them, and like, hey, how do I get inside? So they're like, oh, you should have said something. You just gotta go down here. Whoop de whoop. So I go in this hut, and this dude gets off this bed. He's trying to I don't know if he's trying to intimidate me or what, but shit wasn't working. And he was like, hey, when I went in this room, there's 4 beds. There's 3 beds against one wall and 1 bed on another wall. So, or maybe there's just 3 beds. Nah, there was 3 beds against this wall. And then there was 1 against another. So, he reads my paper and he's like, oh, he says my name. He's like, oh, that's a biblical name. He's like, that's a real biblical name. And I be getting tired of people saying that because they act like they know the name or they know the Bible and they don't know shit. You know what I mean? So I was just looking at them. And throughout the rest of the time, it just felt like I kept getting tested. Like there was group therapies and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, why the fuck am I here? And they're like, why don't you just talk to us? Why don't you just tell us what you're thinking? And I'm like, I'm not here to talk to y'all about shit, And they're like, why don't you just tell us what's going on? Tell us about some of your problems or, they're like trying to question me and it's like I'm trapped there. But I remember I was like sitting there and they're like, what are you doing? And I remember I was thinking of the verse. It was like, some of us will get locked up. It was like, be faithful for 10 days and then you'll receive your crown, even unto death, and then you'll receive your crown. So I'm sitting there and that's what I'm just repeating in my head, like verses. And it felt like, I don't know, this dream just felt like I was being tested or something. It just felt like I was on a group of gang stalkers, with gang stalkers, and like it was like my family. So I remember the beginning of the dream a little bit, not really, but a little bit. I just remember it just being like my family now. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody put me in some type of fucking program, but it's funny because it's like they need the answers. They want the answers, but they're like, why don't you just talk to us? Why don't you just tell us? But there ain't nothing to talk about because we ain't walking hand in hand, So, it's like the devil will be trying to use the devices and shit and trying to use people, but we see that shit, And I mean, that dream was just basically it kind of just seemed like it was telling me just not to trust some people, especially in these times. And, it's like we about to be delivered, and I don't know, man. We about to be delivered, or some shit's about to happen, man. I just feel like I really don't give a fuck, though. Honestly, I just want to get delivered to get up out of here. But all this other shit, I don't give a fuck, man. Realistically, I just want to go home. I'm tired of being in this motherfucking place. I want to go home. And I can't wait till the Most High gets our vengeance, especially on these people that done us wrong, stealing from us, doing all kinds of shit. I can't wait. And I'm glad he's got these niggas fighting and killing each other in the stores and shit. Good. Get rid of them niggas. I don't want to see them niggas anyway. I don't give a fuck they look like me or don't look like me. Them niggas don't want to act like us, and fuck it. I don't mean you gotta be like me, but I mean on the aspect of if you ain't one-minded on your how about Shimmy outside, I don't really care about you. I understand some people waking up, yeah, good, but as far as everybody else, man, my mind, I ain't trying to be no friends. I ain't trying to make love to none of these girls. I ain't trying to fuck. I ain't trying to do shit, man. I don't even want to work. I don't want to do shit. I just want to get to the kingdom. I want all this shit to fall down just so I can get to the kingdom, and that's it. That said, Shalom, how about Shimmy outside?